One evening after Isha, we lay down to rest in Mina. In the tent next door, the Deobandis, one of their ulama or whatever they regard them, mufti or ulama or whatever they call them, he started teaching his people. In the course of his teaching, he said, now I will read to you, or I will recite to you some words that I learned from my sheikh, who learned from his sheikh. And this is a noble chain between myself and my sheikh and so on. And they are elders and they taught us this. So I have memorized it in Urdu. So then he proceeded to recite it in Urdu and then translate it into English. What was he reciting? The Burda of al-Busiri. He was reciting the lines of poetry known as the Burda of al-Busiri. This Burda of al-Busiri is a poem, my brothers and sisters, that is often read in Sufi circles. Hamza Yusuf translated it. And he recited it and sang it to his sheikh, Habib Ali Jifri. And they gather together in the evenings and they sing and they chant these lines of poetry known as the Burda of al-Busiri. Also, the likes of Nooh, Min Keller. In fact, you'll hardly find a Sufi, whether he's from the east or the west, from India, Morocco, Egypt, United States of America, Europe, Britain. Probably there's a mosque within stone throw from here that you'll find that they read the Burda of al-Busiri. You throw a stone, you might hit the mosque, and you'll find that in some nights on the weekday, they'll be reciting the Burda of al-Busiri. It was written by a Sufi leader of theirs known as Salih Muhammad bin Hassan al-Busiri. The story is that al-Busiri, on an occasion, he fell sick. And he suffered greatly due to his illness. Then he claims that he had a dream, a vision, in which he saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when he saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he complained to him about his ailment. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, he passed his hands over my body, and as a result, I was cured. Then after, he said that the Prophet ﷺ put a burda, which is like a mantle or a cloak, a cloth, over my body. Then when I woke up, he found that he was cured from his ailment. And he found that after awakening, that burda or that cloak and that mantle was still upon his body. So, Prophet ﷺ put it upon his body in his sleep. And when he woke up, he found that he's got the burda. So that inspired him to write some lines of poetry. And that is what is known, those lines of poetry is known as the Burda of al-Busiri. The name of the lines of poetry is the Burda of al-Busiri. In these lines of poetry, from those lines, is that they say, or that he said, O noblest one in creation, Ya Akram al-Khalq, Ya Akram al-Khalq, O noblest one of creation, Muhammad, I have none from whom to request protection other than you when the universal calamity befalls. Who's he seeking protection from? Who? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reflect upon what these people are doing. He's at Hajj, this man. He's reciting the talbiyah. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك. Look what he's reciting. Oh Allah, here at your service. Oh Allah, here at your service. Oh Allah, you have no partner. There is no partner for you, oh Allah. This is the talbiyah of Hajj. And then in the evening he's reciting this burda. Oh noblest one in creation, Muhammad, I have no one. And then he's reading it and then he's translating it back from Arabic into Urdu, from Urdu into English. Abu Hakim was next to him on Najm. I said, look what he's reciting. He said, tomorrow we will have to deal with him. So the next day, we continued with more and more Tawheed. And many of the people from that tent came to our tent, walillahi alhamd. Because they were convinced, because they could hear these people are talking Quran, Sunnah. They're not reciting poetry and songs to us that have no basis in Quran and Sunnah. So they would come and they would listen. This is the power of Tawheed. Shaykh Sulaiman bin Muhammad bin Abdul-Wāhid rahimahullah, he mentions in Taysir al-Aziz al-Hamid, in the explanation of Kitab al-Tawheed, he said, so reflect upon these words of al-Busiri in this line of poetry of shirk, of polytheism. From that is his negation that there is any protector for him when the events occur, meaning the calamities occur to him, except the Prophet ﷺ. He says that there is no protector. I have none to whom to request protection except other than you, O Muhammad. So Shaykh Sulaiman bin Muhammad rahimahullah, he said, for this, what he has said, but this is for no one except Allah alone, without any partners. But he has made it for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam alone, without anyone else. For Allah is the one besides whom there is no protector. Furthermore, al-Busiri supplicates to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and called out to him with humility and manifesting his indigence, his lowliness, and his compulsory need of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then he asks him for these needs which are not sought from anyone except for Allah. So this is shirk in the ilahiyah of Allah, in the soul deification or the soul godship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah is the only God that is to be worshipped, or the only deity that is deserving of our worship.